Say first of all, I'll introduce myself as I always do. My name is Eric Alber. I've been 10 years in the industry as a nurse, serving my community. About 5 years ago, my own health took a turn, and some eye-opening realities, aha, V8 moments kind of stuff took place in my own life, and so I pursued alternatives to what the medical community was offering, as take a pill, pop a pill, and just kind of carry on with life. And that's kind of where this title tonight is coming on. Life is not a dress rehearsal, because you only get one chance, one time around on this rock, and so you got to live it well. And I wasn't, and so that's what I did. I started that, and I became more a fitness and health guru and coach, so to speak, and just been encouraging people to do the same, and just leading by example mostly. And so that's what I've been doing. I do in-home workouts because I don't have time with my busy family. I got 5 daughters, by the way, so we're a busy family here, and one being special needs and all that. So it's easier for me to work out at home. So I encourage people through the in-home workouts like P90X, Insanities, all those Beachbody workouts. That's what I'm a big fan of, and they've changed my life. And so if there's people interested in that, I help them get started on those. And now I'm on to DN Nation and Fitness by Felicia. All those guys have started me on this fabulous eating plan now. Yes, very busy. So, and it makes sense from being a medical guy. When I looked at this diet, I've tried many of them, not even diet, I don't even want to call it that. Scratch that. Hopefully you can forget that. Let it go right throughout your ears, because that's not really what it is. It's an eating for life plan, which I've never encountered in my life, and so much moved me, so much so that with the Venice Nutrition Plan that I'm getting certified, and going to become involved in that regularly, because I've been so impressed with what it's done with myself in a limited time that I've been on it, and just seeing the great results by many of you folks that are on this, that I know party on this scope. Yeah, I'm glad I found it too. Rebecca, you got some great stuff. I saw your scope. I was really impressed with just what you were able to do, just how fast too it can happen. Yeah, it's awesome. So congrats to you, and keep it going, keep inspiring on, because that's really what this is about. So anyway, like, I guess, like, I want to get into this. This life is not a dress rehearsal. I kind of stole the title. I'll give credit to where credit's due, but John Maxwell, he had that statement in one of the talks that I was listening to, and just some of the valid points that he brought out made me really think about it in terms of even more so of a health scenario. It covers life, but really about health, and that, you know, we got to treat ourselves right. And so that's where, going back to this balancing that blood sugar, as I look deeper into, when you balance that, you don't deal with other issues. That, because the biggest thing that is, I think, misleading now, and the conventional wisdom out there now, and all the research that's coming out, is inflammation is really what we're dealing with now. And so the more we eat the refined carbohydrates, we eat more sugars, and we eat more simple carbohydrates like that, and we just indulge in those, and we drink the sugary drinks, and unfortunately the alcohols, because that's purely a lot of sugar too. And, you know, occasionally it's fine, but we indulge ourselves in all of that. I mean, it throws us into a serious inflammatory state, and that's really where we get in trouble and start having all kinds of health problems. And balancing your blood sugar, when you do that, you really essentially eliminate a lot of those simple sugars. A lot of sugars go away, and you also reduce your inflammation. So it's magical and beautiful. So the Venice Nutrition Program that we're on is fabulous. And yeah, just stay tuned on that. I mean, if you have more information, Fitness by Felicia, she's got good information. Dave Nelson's got great information on it. You know, again, Dave has been a huge impact on all of us, so I'm grateful to him, and want to continue to give him props for what he's done for us. I'm doing some limited jumpstart kind of 30-day programs for real inexpensive that I'm getting people on, just to kind of introduce them in a very base way and get started. And I think that helps kind of bridge the gap to get to the next levels, and it doesn't overwhelm people, because that's how I am. I don't like being overwhelmed, and if it gets to be too much, I won't do it and follow through. So I kind of found a little way to do that, and I want to help people. So if you need any guidance on that, or the in-home workouts and stuff, just hit me up at realhealthwitheric@gmail.com. That's how you can get in touch with me. You can follow me on my Facebook as well under the same name, Eric Alber, and my Twitter, of course. Most of you got that here. It's Eric Thomas Alver as well. So anyway, that being said, life is not a dress rehearsal. I think one of the impacting stories that I thought of when I first started not even before I was a nurse, I was actually an aide in the one of the floors at the hospital, and I met a wonderful gentleman, and at the time I was living in Michigan, and he was from California, so we automatically hit it off because I grew up out here, and we knew In-N-Out Burger and all those things, and we just had a lot in common. And the poor guy was in there because he had esophageal cancer, and I don't think he was much older than I am. He was in his mid 40s roughly, I don't know, somewhere in there. And what they had done is taken his stomach and actually attached it up here to his throat, so he had no more esophagus. And he had been in and out of the hospital multiple times because he was having an awful time with digestion, as one can imagine. It was just awful for him. And I remember his sage advice, and it was, I don't remember the quotes in that and how he said it, but he really looked at me sternly in the eyes because I was a young man at the time, and I had a young family, and he gave me great advice. And when you're in your 20s, you're bulletproof, 10 feet tall, and nothing can hurt you, right? So you kind of have that, okay, thank you, sir, kind of mentality some ways. But yet, even though I showed that front, there was a part of it that kind of stuck in the back of my mind that made me just kind of plant that seed and leave it there for a future time, I suppose. But he basically told me, don't go out there and be stupid and live your life and like, eat and jolly and be merry, all those things, and just go live it up and be a lot, irresponsible with your health, because that's what I did. I enjoyed the finest things of life, and I didn't have a care in the world, and look at where I'm at. And he's not suggesting that everybody ends up there either, but as our quality of food changes and things get worse, I mean, I don't see it getting any better unless we do alternative options and go organic and start doing those things, which are hard to do in some ways, but it's necessary for greater health. But the quality of the industry that we're getting fed, it's great advice. I wish I would have followed it sooner. I probably wouldn't have been up in the health crisis I was in, but it's my journey, my story, and it's taught me a lot, and I don't regret it. And now I just want to share it forward with other people. And the other thing, when you make a decision on, going the opposite of all the mainstream, and you say that's just not working like it was for me. My acid reflux was so bad, I was taking pills for years and it just wasn't any better, and I couldn't, and I finally stopped and said, is there an alternative? And when I really dug into it, it's there if we want to find it. It's just we got to be open and willing to go look for it and seek out those alternatives, and then a whole new world opens up to you, and it's fabulous. So, and the one thing that in that teaching that I got from John Maxwell was that nothing good ever comes from, everything good in life is up the hill or up that mountain that's before us. And that was really powerful because it's so true. And his joke in that was, you don't accidentally just wake up on top of the mountain like, how did I get here? It's not like a shock. It takes work. You intentionally go up a hill. You intentionally climb those flight of stairs. There's no accidental way up the hill. But, down in that valley, down the hill, the opposite direction, that's all by not caring. You just end up down there, and you end up in a very miry pit in a horrible situation. And so that was really powerful today to get that. And he talked about being deliberate, consistent, and willful. And I kind of tied in my own little definition, but, being deliberate with your diet and your nutrition, you have to think about it daily. You have to plan ahead. You have to be thoughtful of it. You have to get good information, and you have to be intentional in that way. And that's what his whole title and talk was on, intentional living. And then the other part of being intentional, it ties in with consistency. You don't be consistent without being intentional, for sure. I struggle with consistency. Probably my biggest reason, I think, is because I'm a perfectionist. And I'm telling you, it took me forever to do these scopes. I was so afraid to do them because it wasn't going to be perfect. It wasn't going to be right yet. Yeah, it's tough. So being consistent is by far, I think, most people's challenge, maybe for various reasons. But for me, I'm being a recovering perfectionist, essentially. I'm just going to do it. I'm following Nike. I'm just going to do it. And I hope it touches lives in the process, and I'll be greater for it. And I hope somebody else will be too. That's kind of my attitude lately. And that's the way I'm going to live it. Yeah, exactly. We all somehow do. And there's so much bad information out there, though, Rebecca. It's just, I feel bad. And that's really where the impetus, a lot of this is coming from for me as well. There's so many people I meet in the nursing world and the medical community that just have been, I feel duped. I don't know, misled or misinformed. I know we take responsibility ultimately for our own lives, and that can't argue that. But at the same time, people, they get information and they trust. And You know what? Rightfully so, they should. I wish that more people were just more honest and it wasn't so much about big business and making money and greed all the time. But, or, you know, really the saddest thing, it's really about big pharma in the pharmaceutical world. That's really what this has all become a part of. It's big money for everybody involved, and so it hurts people, and the real people like us get affected by it. So here we are starting a revolution here in DN Nation, and you know, doing the scopes on good eating, good nutrition, and balancing blood sugar and getting it right, and PFC every 3, right? So that's what we got to do. We just got to keep preaching it, and from the rooftops, all of us hand in hand, and one by one we'll inspire the right people that are ready to have, you know, the ears to hear and are ready to listen. There you go. Amen. DN Nation. And then you know, the last part I was going to, he talked about deliberate, being, thinking about it daily, you know, consistent, intentional. You got to be intentional, be consistent, and then willful. You have to choose the plan. Well, there's a lot of them out there, and that's what we were just kind of touching on. Hopefully the right voice will come through and the right people will share to the right individuals what plan is for them. And again, you can apply this to everything you want, but I'm just being specific with diet, really. You find a plan that works, and it works consistent for you, that you can willfully and intentionally and consistently do with deliberate, you know, planning. It's golden, and it's money, and being that, you know, since I've started the Venice nutrition plan that I'm on and balancing blood sugar, I keep saying it, I'm shocked. No cravings, 0 cravings, love water like I didn't even know it existed. I'm so into that, and there's really nothing else I drink now, and I'm okay with that. Again, and kind of a wild experience as well. And I've been through a lot of diet plans. The yo-yo thing is so true, and that's what I did. They all worked for a period of time, but they never killed cravings, and truly energy through the roof. Even despite not sleeping well, I feel great. So, and the final thought I want to kind of close with on this, all this talk really and sharing with you guys is, you know, we have to lead our life, not accept it. Not just kind of take what comes and roll over and say, okay. Be intentional is about leading your life. And that is taking responsibility, you know, personal responsibility in every situation, but in specific with your health. You've got to be your own advocate. And like I've shared it before, and I'll continue to preach this until cows come home, trust your nutrition, not your physician. And I mean, again, not in it's trust the physician, you know, scenario, because they are not, thank you, yes, I hope so too. I plan on it. But you know, trusting blindly the doctor is just not where it's at anymore. It's not like it used to be with grandma and grandpa anymore. They're too busy, and they're being pressed from above to be about time, quick, and it's sad, and people are being hurt because of it. So take responsibility, lead your life. You know, and it's not about good intentions. I'm telling you, don't have good intentions, because good intentions don't equal health. Good activities, good action steps, good intention with what you do to be consistent and deliberate about a plan that works. That's what's going to get you good health and good results. And I think, honestly, after 4 years plus of being in the fitness and health industry and looking over things, I can't say enough about the Venice nutrition plan, the PFC every 3, which is the protein, fats, and carbs being in balance, eating every 3 hours, and drinking lots of water, and, you know, even minimal exercise, you still get great results. I've never seen anything like it, and so I'm going to continue to pass that on to anybody who's interested. And again, at realhealthwitheric@gmail.com. Find me there if you have more information. You want more information about in-home workouts like P90X, Insanity, 21-day fix, you name it, Body Beast, all that stuff. I'm a big advocate of that, because I don't get out to the gym, and I'm also putting together simple plans for anybody that's interested in starting in this Venice nutrition plan to balance their blood sugar and lose fat, gain muscle, build muscle, and have energy and through the roof and no cravings. I'm telling you, it's all beautiful. So hope you'll join the DN Nation and all the rest of us. And I'm sorry if you're joining in late and missed most of it. I pray you'll go check out the replay and tap the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate your guys' support. Any questions or thoughts that you guys wanted to share? I'm interested in hearing anything you've got to add or anything you want to amen or mention. I always want to be inspired. I think that's one thing that I got from taken away from John Maxwell today too, was that thank you, appreciate that, Rebecca, was that, you know, everybody has where it was the value. He had the top 5 list, and I thought it was brilliant. Value people, think how to to add value to people daily. Look for ways to add value to people. Do things that add value to people, like Scopes, and inspire others to add value to other people. And it was just powerful because he said, the life that matters is not a life that is put on hold for another day, and there is no insignificant act when we're adding value to people. It's just brilliant. So I think he was at 12 Stones Church, I think is where, and I think, Mike, are you on here? I think you shared it with myself, that talk that he did, and it was fabulous, and I'm so grateful for it. If you're on here, Mike Cardella, you could follow him. He's a brilliant guy. But he has he shared that with me, and I would encourage you to go find it. I think it's 12stoneschurch.org or .com, I'm not sure. But if you go looking for it, it's well worth it. It's living intentionally, and it'll bless you, I'm sure. So anyway, that's all I got for you tonight. Again, I thank you so much for tuning in, and again, thank you to those that watch the rebroadcast. I hope it benefits you in some way, and you can take something home with this and make a change in your life that'll last forever and make a difference in your family. God bless you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you as well, Rebecca. Keep up the good work and keep posting. I'm excited to hear more about your journey. Good night, guys.